Vehicular entertainment. Test Miles with Nick Miles.
Live from the Oregon Convention Center, it is Test Miles. I'm Nick Miles, and it's the Paul and Auto Show. But I'm feeling very unloved by the weather today because snow and ice blanketing the city. A lot of people staying home. So I've spent the last several hours with the crew, and we have touched and tasted every single car here at the Auto Show. We've cuddled, we've sat. Brad and Sean are here. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Have you had fun with nobody in the convention center so far this morning?
I love this. I should have brought my kids. They could have just run up and down the aisles.
There are people flooding in, though.
Flooding, or is that trickling?
Trickling in. Maybe trickling in is a better word for you. The Oregon Convention Center is open. The Portland International Auto Show is open, and this morning, Test Miles live from here in the convention center. We were hoping for better weather, but the hardest part, I didn't actually have a hard time getting here. I will tell you that I got into my trusty Land Rover, and I drove down here this morning and got here no problem at all. In fact, got here several hours early. The hardest part for me was getting out of the car and getting into the convention center.
Mine as well. I drove the Grand Cherokee all week. It's been fantastic. But we can park underground. So
Yes.
if anybody is forging out to the show, you can park underground.
And we are here until 11 o'clock this morning. You can come to the show. It is open until 7 p.m. tonight. Safety is your first concern, however. And there is underground parking as well if you decide to venture out. If you live a few blocks, come and enjoy the warm. Come and enjoy all these people who have turned out today to put an auto show on for you. 39 brands, 25 manufacturers. It is the state's largest consumer show and Oregon's largest automotive display. Over 500 cars. We did a little math before we got on the air this morning. $15 million worth of cars on the floor here at the Oregon Convention Center, and you can actually go home with one of them as a prize. You can win a car thanks to the Oregonian. The opportunity to win this nice new Mazda 3 is what is being offered. It is a enter to win, and that will be drawn, I think, around 5 p.m. today. It is the Mazda 3S Grand Touring 5-door, and right in front of us is the booth where you would win that car. You can come down and do that. The other attractions here are open until 7 p.m. The big news of the day is that under 12s today are free, and we like to call that free babysitting. So if you want to come down with your family, there is free babysitting today. All right, there's lots going on at the show. Sean is live tweeting the show as we speak at Test Miles on Twitter. You can also tune in to us on your Facebook, and you can go to our website, testmiles.com. Brad, we came in yesterday and had a look at the cars of the show. What did your kids, your 5-year-old twins, enjoy more than anyone else?
Besides the minivans, they love that. They were a little tired, so we just put them in the back of a van, and they slept for a while.
And did you manage to keep the Honda minivan vacuum cleaner away from
We
Cade,
did.
your son?
Yes. It had no power going, so we were good there. But my wife actually liked the Wrangler, the Rubicon, best.
She did. I noticed that we had to come back into the hall yesterday, and you had to take charge of the kids while she went and played with the car.
Sat in the car. She's ready to be a Jeep girl again. She had a Liberty, so she's all about the Jeep.
Does she enjoy the Cherokee, which is technically the replacement for the Liberty? The Cherokee is on the floor here. If you haven't seen it, it was a nomination for North American Truck of the Year. It's definitely one of my favorites and replaces the Liberty, a small vehicle that gets amazing gas mileage, a 9-speed transmission. And if you haven't seen this vehicle, the interiors of the vehicle are amazing. So what they did at Jeep is they took pictures of different tundras. One of them is Mount Vesuvius. They also took some in Morocco. And they took these photographs and they matched the colors from the photographs and the materials for the photographs to the materials of the inside. And I would say that, quite honestly, those new interiors of the Jeeps are some of the finest I've seen. Klaus, who is the interior designer I've sat down with many times, he actually came from Mercedes. So we're talking about top-notch quality inside the brand new Jeep Cherokee. Is that an option for her, a Cherokee, or is she a Wrangler girl all the way?
Well, she would like to be a Wrangler girl, but her life has changed with children now. So she's
funny how that happens, right?
Minimally a Cherokee girl. She really did love the exterior, the new look, more aggressive front end.
Yeah, updated front end, definitely something new for 2014.
Well, it's all good that the Wrangler comes in a 4-door, so you can get those kids in the back seat now.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Perfect for you. Would it fit a car seat? Do you have
For baseball and
what's
soccer.
What's the law on car seats now? Is it's under a certain weight? It used to be an age, but I think it's under a certain
it's like 60 or 70 pounds now.
Yeah, so your kids have to have. So you're going to be there for a while.
I will be there for a while.
You'll be doing booster seats.
Thank you for that reminder.
Yeah, sure. How old are you when you had twins?
I think I was 73. In my 50s.
So in your 50s. That is a bold move for
me and Tony Randall.
So not only as the great cars on display here, there's also a bunch of other stuff for you and your family to do. I should also remind you that Allstate responds to the show. We're hoping to have someone with us from Allstate later on in the Test Miles program this morning on FM News 101. And there is, opposite us, there is a booth where you can toss the phone. It's all about don't texting and driving. In fact, they have a car on display here, which is the result of texting and driving, and is a pretty sorry front end of a car. But you can toss cell phones at several interior objects of cars, and if you get them inside, I think you win a prize.
They have lots of different swag prizes. Toyota also has a simulator which shows the results of texting and driving or attempting to. So it's a distracted driving simulator.
What should you do? This is a good piece of information. So we all know we shouldn't text and drive, and hopefully we know we shouldn't text and drive, and we know the results of it. Recently on my TV programs, I did a segment on what you should do if you see someone else texting and driving. So we should go over that right now. Here's the 3 things that you should always do. First of all, get yourself or your family out of harm's way. So pull over, let the person who you believe is texting and driving go. Get yourself to safety. Number 2 is call 911. Those guys at 911, if you see someone where life or property is in danger, they are trained to make the decision about whether they need to respond to somebody texting and driving. And number 3 is do not confront the person who is texting and driving. You don't know what's going on inside that car. Leave it to the professionals. So texting and driving, that's the result of. But do not text and drive. They have the results here, and you can test it on the simulator and find out why you shouldn't text and drive if you don't already know.
It's pretty stunning, isn't it?
It is. Ride and drives this morning of Subaru want to let you know that this is the perfect weather for you to ride and drive in one of their vehicles. So if you don't already own a Subaru, by the way, you can come and sit in one and go around the exterior of the building in one just to prove how great they are in this kind of weather with their symmetrical all-wheel drive. There's other stuff going on as well here too, Brad, right?
There is, and one of the cars that I thought was really interesting to see is the BMW i3, which is their all-electric vehicle. It's got a range of about 80 to 100 miles. You actually get a chance to sit in the car and be driven around inside the show. I think it's about 25,000 square feet of space inside the show. It's a really beautiful little car.
And the thing about this is there's 0 emissions because it is an electric vehicle. The story gets very local with this car as well, because the carbon fiber in that BMW i3 is actually made just across the river in Washington State, a little further than just across the river. It's made further north. But it was developed there, and I was at the launch of this car in New York recently, where Inslee, the governor of Washington State, came out and told us how important the development of the BMW i3 was for this region. So along with the other companies like Nissan, like Toyota that are doing electric cars, here is the new i3. You can actually sit inside it and go around. Sean, you've seen the car. What do you think of the new BMW i3?
I actually went out on a little test drive, and I was impressed in it. It's really nice. I sat in the back seat. There's a lot of room, which it doesn't look like there is because it's such a compact car, but I fit comfortably back there. It has a lot of torque. It's a great little car. I highly recommend trying it.
Could you use it as a daily driver?
Well, for 100 miles, but yes, I could use it for a daily driver if my commute was only 50 miles each way.
Exactly. You can come over here and you can check that out as well. There's lots more to see here at the Portland International Auto Show. I'm Nick Miles, Brad and Sean with me, and also thanks to the rest of the crew from FM News 101 who are here. We will be back with more from the Portland International Auto Show.
Vehicular entertainment. Test Miles with Nick Miles.
Oh, we're having a party down here at the Oregon Convention Center. It's the Portland International Auto Show. Now, as far as we're concerned, safety is your main issue if you are thinking of coming to the show today. Do not venture out unless it's safe to do so, but if you do venture out, there is a whole show, a giant convention center full of 500 different cars to see here, and we will be your eyes and ears as we walk through the show. We'll tell you all about it if you unfortunately can't make it down here, and some of the fun things that you can do. One of the things that I actually caught my eye was the fact that Portland Police have a display down here, and they have some police cars and some police officers. I think they're probably recruiting to see if you would like to join the police force. But an interesting story that harkens back to my youth. When I was young and a little nickling, my father worked for the British Army, and we were posted in Germany, and I used to disappear. My parents would lose me. I would break out of the army quarters where we lived and disappear. And eventually, these stories were related to me by my parents because I can't remember much of them. But so eventually, they had to actually wire the windows shut from the outside because I used to break out. Why did I break out? I broke out to go to the local RAF police station, Royal Air Force police station, and have them bring me home in a police car. That's what I used to do. So I loved riding in police cars as a young child. I later went on to work at one of the branches of 911 and serve the people of Portland with flashing lights and sirens many years ago. But as a young child, I used to break out. So later on, I will be going to sitting in the back of that police car and remembering my youth as a small 4-year-old.
Or your adolescence
No.
on the many trips that you had in the back of the police
I
car.
am glad to say I've been a good boy my whole life. All right, there are so much to do and see here at the Portland International Auto Show. Let's talk about a few of the things that you would see if you came down, but we will live them through us. The all-new 2015 Ford Mustang is here. It's a West Coast debut. It's never been at an auto show on the West Coast before. My other half is looking at buying one of these.
Although he kind of preferred the more recent version. I mean,
No, the 2014
Yeah.
seems to be what is significant. So the 2015 is not. I prefer the 2015 or the new version. The older version I am not so excited about, but it's the other way around in my household. So we will see which one we end up with. But I really do like the new Mustang. I think it's a good heritage of the car. 50 years, 9 million sold around the world. And this is the first time that Ford have made a global platform for that car, which means it's going to be sold in much more than the United States. An American muscle car going to be sold all over the world from here. Also here is the new Stingray. This is the Chevy Corvette Stingray. Big news for them. They're celebrating 60 years of Corvette, 50 years of Stingray. And I drove this car in Carmel earlier this year in California. Got to go on a General Motors Chevrolet ride and drive with the car. Got it up to 107 miles an hour in third in eco mode. So the car is definitely a performance beast.
I mean, that car actually gets 30 miles to the gallon on the highway. We
Yeah,
drive it run to the sun. It was one of the most impressive vehicles we've been in.
It is, and I also did speeds at Run to the Sun, which I could have got in a little bit of trouble.
I think
we all did on that one.
I'll probably leave it there. Yeah, all three of us. There is an event in the summer called Run to the Sun, and what this event is with the Northwest Automotive Press Association get together and put on an event with 25 cars and 25 journalists, and we drive these vehicles over 2 days to and from different areas in Oregon and Washington, and we get to test drive all the cars out. So we did that. We've driven a lot of these cars that you'll see here today. One of the most popular brands here is Subaru. They are showing the 2015 WRX STI. General Motors also have their Chevy Silverado here. It was the winner of North American Truck of the Year, and also the Cadillac Escalade, the GMC Sierra, the 2015 Cadillac ELR, which is their electric vehicle. It has a gas motor in it that powers the electric engine once you deplete what the battery holds of the vehicle. I saw that car at many auto shows, but when I saw the one here on the floor, it's a red color, and it looks really impressive.
It's kind of a Bordeaux red.
Yes, yes. You, of course, Brad, would associate the color of alcohol with the car.
Absolutely.
The very beautiful red color. I'm actually getting that car next week to drive, so we will have a report on that on TestMiles. We're here, of course, every Sunday morning from 10 to 11 on FM News 101 KXL, talking about the best cars. Here at the Portland International Auto Show, there is also some displays from Kia. They have one of their YouTube vehicles here, the new K900, which is their luxury car. Now, Sean and I are going to be heading off to California on Monday to go test drive the new K900. Did you see the Super Bowl ad for this car?
I did. Remind me which one that was.
The Morpheus from the Matrix.
Oh, yes. How could I
when
forget?
he sang Nes Andor. No, you probably
Somebody
don't
else
that.
did.
Yes, that was great. And choose the blue key, and the wool of luxury has been pulled over your eyes. Choose the red. That whatever the script was. That was brilliant. We actually got to see Fishburne as Morpheus from the Matrix. That was to advertise the new K900. And one of the segments we're actually doing next week for our television shows is best cars to kiss in for this Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day is just a few days away. It's was it Wednesday or Thursday
it's
this week?
Wednesday this week.
Wednesday this week. So Valentine's Day, Wednesday this week, and we will be talking about the K900 as one of the best cars. Those seats in the back recline, so you can get in the back, recline the person that you're with, and maybe plant a little peck on their cheek for Valentine's Day. I'm not endorsing that you go out and buy a car for Valentine's Day. I'm saying if you want to, maybe it's a great gift to bring somebody, but you don't have to do it. What are you getting for your significant other?
I should probably just take care of the kids and let her go see a movie. I
Is
think
that
that
how
would
it
be
works
her.
when you become a parent?
That's it.
I'm not getting you roses and taking you for a sexy dinner and then we're going to have a night of romance. I'm just going to take the kids. There's your Valentine's.
Exactly.
present.
Now, shouldn't Subaru be up there for the best kissing vehicles?
It's one of the ones that's in there. That's another one. Actually, so with Kia, let's remain with Kia.
Yeah.
They have the Soul EV. And Michael Sprague, who is the Vice President of Communications from Kia, pitched me that for him, the Soul Electric was a great Valentine's car because it would electrify your relationship. It's a Valentine's.
That's a stretch.
It's a Kia sales thing. Also, I would say pretty much any convertible or any sports car is great for kissing. One of the things that doesn't work for kissing in a car is having the center console being so big, like a truck, where you have a hard time leaning over to the person, unless, as our fabulous engineer Mike pointed out, you have a bench seat in the vehicle, and then you can slide over next to your significant other. But usually if they have a large center console in the truck, you have a problem with actually leaning over and planting one on somebody.
On the bench seat, you could actually tell the level of your relationship. Early on relationship, the woman would sit right next to you. As you got farther into the relationship and it was like a real girlfriend, they had moved well over.
You had to buy her own truck.
Yeah. It's like sitting on the same side while you're eating dinner.
Sean, what about you? What's best for kissing with you?
Mine would be the Corvette. I'm just, I'm a big fan of the Corvette. It's sexy and everything, and I would love to make out in a Corvette.
We also I think have. We should bring in the Mustang as well, another great sports car to kiss in, and that's here at the Auto Show. Hyundai have their C3, which is their roll-top concept. It shows what you could actually do, or the possibilities if you put a rag top on that car. That's kind of fun. It came from SEMA. It's actually here at the Portland International Auto Show, and there are a lot of other cars. Impressed me very much is the Mercedes-Benz. They have the SLS with the gull-wing doors. I've noticed that a lot of people have been doing gull-wing doors on cars now. It's especially concepts. Kia's new concept which was unveiled recently had those gull wing doors. So that's a big thing for new manufacturers. Apart from that, Brad, what's your favorite of the show? In our last 30 seconds, tell me before we go to break, what's your favorite of the show?
Well, they unveiled the Chrysler 200 that had just been shown in Detroit, and that is a really nice departure for Chrysler. It's a really streamlined looking vehicle. Love that.
I do. It looks good. Sean, quickly, your favorite?
Mine would be the Dodge Ram, or the Ram truck from SEMA.
Truck from SEMA, which is here, the Sun Chaser, I believe it's called. You're listening to TestMiles right here on FM News 101.
This is TestMiles with automotive expert Nick Miles. Vehicular entertainment. Test Miles with Nick Miles.
Live from the Oregon Convention Center, the Portland International Auto Show, I'm Nick Miles. The Test Mile crew is here. Brad and Sean is here. Unfortunately, Andy is iced in, so he's listening at home on his couch, and he's very sad that he can't be here. But he'll be, again, back with us next week. Now, from the Oregon Convention Center, we have a guest, Greg Remensberger. You are the big cheese here. You're in charge of many things. Disappointing about the weather.
Yeah, you know, I've been doing this for a little over 10 years now, and I've never had one day that has been this bad, let alone 4 days in a row. So we're real disappointed in how this is affecting our attendance and just all the people that want to come down here that can't.
Yeah, and we understand that they need to stay safe and to stay off the roads if they can. I will tell you, the biggest shame for me is the fact that, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is clearly the best Portland International Auto Show that we have ever seen.
Thank you, Nick. Yeah, we're very excited about what we've got here on the floor. By far, this is the biggest and the best in the way of new product that we've got here. Concept cars, the display properties that the manufacturers have brought. It is we are wall to wall, floor to ceiling. It's nothing but great stuff.
Now, there's two things that I want to mention. First of all, there is a saving grace to this. There are car dealers in this city
That's
that have
true.
all these cars in their dealerships. So although there may be a little traveling once the ice and the snow melts, you can still see a lot of these cars by going to the dealers. There's several that you can't see, probably like the new Mustang, until later in the year. This is going to be exclusively here at the show, and things like the Sun Chaser, the Ram truck, and some of the other cars that won't be in dealerships later. But 90% of the $15 million worth of cars on the floor here are available to see at dealerships, right?
That's true. And, I think one of the cool things about the auto show, what we hear from the people that come down here, is it's a chance to see them all at one place, side by side, do comparisons with the prevalence of the ride and drives nowadays. You get the opportunity to get behind the wheel with a product specialist that can answer all your questions and take it out on the road. Now we're going to miss that opportunity for this year.
Right, unless I guess the only car that has a saving grace too because of the weather outside. Subaru, of course, loving it. The fact is they can show off their symmetrical all-wheel drive. BMW on the inside of their ride and drive, so they're also loving it too.
Yeah, BMW has the i3, which is the new fully electric BMW here, and they've been running a little course demonstrating its turning radius, its ability to parallel park, and the surprising thing is, the biggest question we get on full electric cars is how far can I go? How long can I last? They've been here for 4 days, and it's been running pretty much bell to bell, 10 hours or 12 hours a day, and they've only had to recharge the vehicles once since they've been here. Now, it's low speeds, and it's short distances and so forth, but I think they've got probably the best technology and batteries for the electric car market right now.
And one of the other things I wanted to mention about today is that what we like to call it, you have a free babysitting service. Well, not quite free, but under 12s get in free today, right?
Under 12 gets in free. It's family day. So if you can make it down here, it's what I've heard, our phone has been ringing off the hook, and everybody is saying, we'll make it down there if you're going to be open, and we are going to be open till 7 o'clock today. And if you got cabin fever, if you just want to get out and you can make it down here, we've got 400,000 square feet of dry, warm space to get a little exercise, walking around up and down the stairs, and have some fun looking at the eye candy.
Just as long as we remember that safety is the main issue for
Safety
people,
is
and
the
we
main
want you
issue.
to get here safely if you can get here, but stay off the roads if there's any chance that you can't get. Of course, those people that live close within walking distance, this is probably if it's great for you to come down today
Right.
within the convention center.
And check with Max, because Max does drop off right at the side of the convention center here. But they've been running, they shut down yesterday, and I think that's the first time I've ever seen them completely shut down. And it wasn't the tracks, it was the sleet was freezing the doors from closing. They would open,
Oh, really?
and then they couldn't get them closed, so they couldn't operate.
I know several years ago when we had snow, Max had problems with ice on the electric lines, and then they fitted the trains with this sort of de-icing gadget that knocked the
Right.
ice off of the lines, and unfortunately,
Yeah.
they didn't come across the freezing door problem. But Max is technically not running today, they have said. However, do check because when it was technically not running before, there was the occasional train. But city buses, we've seen people standing out at bus stops waiting to come down here today. And of course, there's underground parking, which means that you don't have to park and worry about the sidewalks. You can actually come under the building and stay out of the cold weather altogether, and you don't have to get out of your car and walk to the convention center.
Right, and I do want to address one thing that we're getting on our Facebook page and that are calling here asking us as well too. Could we just extend it a day or two because the weather's supposed to get better? As much as I would love to do that, these manufacturers are going to break down these sets tonight. They've got other cities they've got to be to, and unfortunately we won't be able to extend the date. So
now for the people that are here, they have a so much better chance of winning this Mazda 3, right?
That is true. It is a numbers game, and how that program works is you enter to win here, and we take a winner from each day and draw the names out of there. So even if you've been here on Thursday, Friday, or yesterday on Saturday, there's not nearly as many entries in the bucket as we normally do. We are going to pull a fourth one out today and draw and give away that car later this afternoon.
And what time is that being given away?
5 o'clock tonight.
All right. Do you have to be present to win?
Well, that's normally our rules. We're looking at how we can try to make this.
I'll wait until 5. Don't think I won't. I'll stand right here until 5 p.m. if I have a chance of winning that car.
Something tells me that Brad and you and Sean have all got your name in the bucket up there.
That would be my next. Are we eligible?
It's only the employees of the auto show that are not eligible, and I don't think I see you on the payroll.
No, all right,
Awesome.
good. Then I'm gonna enter now. There's this station here to enter to win, right?
Right
in front of our FM News 101 booth. Is there other stations?
You have to drop it off here. There is no cost to enter. So if you fill out the form, you drop it off here at the ticket booths sometime before. I think we cut off for our drawing at 4 today.
Okay. So. How many cards can you fill out before 4, Sean?
A lot.
Especially for that Mazda 3.
Yeah.
Can't we get a rubber stamp and just...
I think the MSRP on that's about $30,000.
It's
so
a little over
substantial
30.
vehicle.
Yeah, that is the most expensive car we've given away, and we give one away every year.
And it looks nice. So it is actually the Mazda 3 S Grand Touring 5-door. An interesting side note about this car, the red version of the car, Mazda had to reinvent paint guns to paint that paint because it's metallic paint, but they use an electronic process in it where every single piece of metal in the metallic lines up exactly in the same angle. So they had to make a special spray head that was much bigger. And when you see that car in red, oh my God, it's so beautiful.
It is a beautiful car.
It's really beautiful. It was, of course, a nomination or on the nominees list for North American Car of the Year, and you have a chance to win it here at the Portland International Auto Show. The show is open till 7 p.m. 500 cars on the floor here and some beautiful cars. We'll get back to what they are in a moment. You're listening to Test Miles. I'm Nick Miles. The whole crew is here at the Portland International Auto Show. We'll be right back.
This is Test Miles with automotive expert Nick Miles. Vehicular entertainment. Test Miles with Nick Miles.
Last segment of the show live from the Portland International Auto Show. I'm Nick Miles, Sean and Brad, along with my special guest today, Greg Remensberger from the Portland Auto Show and the Metro Portland New Car Dealers Association. I'm starting to be encouraged. The escalators have people on them now.
Yeah, how about that? We're sitting right at the bottom of the escalators, and we had a slow but sure increase in people coming down.
I should also mention that Jake's here and giving away stuff. If you happen to come over to the table, we're not going to have you spin the wheel. We're just going to give you stuff because he doesn't want to take it all the way back to FM News 101. He wants to give it away to you. So if you want stuff, he will give you stuff. Come over to the booth. Luxury Loft. We haven't talked about that yet, but you have a double fist this year around 2 luxury lofts And featured in that luxury loft is the brand new Maserati Ghibli, which is their affordable, starting at $65,000 small luxury car. It's small in size, but big on luxury.
Yeah, they're going after the Audi, BMW, Mercedes marketplace. The big difference is what's underneath the car itself, and that's the Ferrari power plant that's in that.
Their younger sibling, Ferrari, makes the engines for Maserati. Maserati and Ferrari, of course, sister companies. The idea is that Maserati is more the daily driver and more of the sedate version, and the Ferrari is more of the heartthrob, even though the Maseratis are beautiful performers.
Yeah, they've had the Quadriporta out for a number of years now, and boy, if you ever get a chance to get behind the wheel of that, it is a fantastic car. But, they saw the rise of Audi in particular, and, getting into part of what has been dominated by BMW and Mercedes for a number of years as far as acceptance by the public, and they thought, we can get into this market. And when you hear that Ghibli drive down the street compared to any of the other Highline cars, there is a definite distinctive exhaust note to that, and
they do so well with the sound of those cars and the materials on the inside. I have been on several programs where I've got to drive some of these Maseratis, and it's like elf craftsmanship on the inside. It's beautiful. It's luxurious. The leather is so well put together, and the Ghibli is no exception, right?
That's exactly right. I mean, it is a different level of fine appointment in interior and exterior on the car. I mean, the finish on that car is fantastic.
And there are rumors that Maserati will be branching into SUVs and diesel, and they're putting turbos and things on their cars as well. Also would like to mention the fact that Ferrari is up there. You've got Lincoln up there as well.
We've got two luxury lofts this year. Last year we had the first time we put them upstairs in our Highline cars, but the demand for space has forced us to move into both of the ballrooms here. So one has Ferrari, Maserati, and Lotus, as well as Cadillac, Lincoln, and Audi, and Volvo. On the other side, we've got Lexus, Rolls-Royce, Bentley, Lamborghini. Oh gosh, who else is up there? It's Mercedes, BMW. It's boy, I tell you.
I've been to the Maserati luxury loft yesterday. I have yet to go and see the other cars, which I'm going to do right after we get off the air in a little while here. Couple of interesting things. Let's circle around and then talk about Volvo, because they have their new V60 here, which is the wagon.
Right.
I initially heard that was going to be roped off, but it's not. You can actually sit inside it.
Right. And that's something that we didn't mention about the Maseratis too, is this is the first time you can actually get into the Maseratis as well too. First time ever at our show.
I was very frustrated yesterday because I wanted to go and sit in the Ghibli, because I've only seen it and I haven't had a chance to sit in it. And there was a young man of under 12 years of age sitting, pretending to drive it for the 20 minutes that I wanted to sit in it. And I was like, child, let me into my Ghibli. However, today, with so few people actually being here, the opportunity is that you could spend plenty of time. You could spend the whole show until 7 p.m. inside the Ghibli, and then your kids get in free under 12 as well.
Right.
The other thing that we should mention is that Land Rover make a return to the show.
Yeah, they've been out of the show the last couple of years only because they couldn't get product, and why come display if you can't honor the sales that they had? They were on about an 11-month wait for a while, but now, under their new ownership for more than a year and a half now, they've got good, ample supply, and they've got a huge display in here compared to what they've had in the past. This is the first time that the long wheelbase Land Rover is on display.
So the autobiography black long wheelbase, delicious car that we looked at yesterday that has these deployable tables and 10-inch screens. I mean, basically, Sean and I were working out we could actually live in this vehicle yesterday.
Certainly true, and I was talking with the Land Rover rep here yesterday, and he said, if you're having trouble getting down to the show, come on down by whatever way you can get here, and we'll give you a means to get home.
There you go, and that's how I got to the show in the Land Rover today, by the way. It's got me through the snow, so that's excellent. The other things at the show that are significant this year is the fact that you not only have brought in an expansion as well, but you have a lot of firsts here.
we always get asked for concept cars, and the manufacturers kind of went away from that. The cost that's involved with building a car that is never going to go into production is so exorbitant that it creates a lot of excitement, and it's fun to look at. But they went away from it when the economy was bad. Now they're kind of getting back into it. But what we're seeing a lot of is I've got 7 different 2015 cars here, and we're just barely into 2014. And so we're looking at future product that is the actual product you'll be able to buy.
Including the cars that are here that you won't see pretty much anywhere else. The new F-150 makes its West Coast debut. The new Mustang makes its West Coast debut. The Chrysler 200 with the Stingray. And we've actually counted, you've got plenty of Stingrays here. Did you say 4 you've actually found? There was officially 2, here. But we found 2 others that other people have brought into the show. So it's amazing the amount of stuff. You're listening to TestMiles. Thank you so much for spending the last hour with us. Greg Remmensberger from the Portland Metro New Car Dealers Association. Thank you, sir. You are an honored guest anytime on this show.
This is TestMiles with automotive expert Nick Miles.